Hello guys, welcome to Fantastic Vision. Today we will talk about Huawei photoelectric chip major breakthrough. Originally, the competition between technology companies can be said to be a very normal thing, only competition in order to develop, in order to promote the development of the industry. But the United States used the blockade, so a move but let Huawei heavy losses. Huawei in the cut off the chip cell phone business suffered a heavy blow. Other business is also hampered, but Huawei, a Chinese technology giant, was not completely defeated, but chose its own technology. Wrote Huawei cell phones can catch up with Apple by virtue of the system and chip. Two major tools. Huawei has been researching its own chips since more than a decade ago, starting with K3V2 as a toddler to Kirin 970 generation, to catch up with the industry's big brother, the U.S enterprise Qualcomm here in 9000 is with excellent power consumption and performance beyond Qualcomm, helping Huawei cell phones successfully take nearly 50% of the market in China from the U.S enterprise Qualcomm, and Apple Melf to grab the cake. The U.S cracked down on Huawei and also focused on Huawei as the key to Huawei Kirin chip. Huawei cell phone fortress is not broken. The U.S First Force TSMC, which uses U.S technology to stop OEM production of Kirin chips for Huawei, cutting off Huawei's existing chip sources. At the same time, it also cracked down on China's domestic chip industry by restricting ASML from exporting high-end UV lithography to China, leaving Chinese chip companies without the ability to produce high-end chips and cutting off Huawei's possibility of finding alternative manufacturers. Two-pronged approach to put Huawei in a dead end. Huawei cell phones want to come back from the dead, then the chat tip is to have to break a barrier. Huawei chip to break out, there are only two ways. One is the joint Chinese chip industry chain to create non-US technology chip production. Line 1 is through the research and development of new materials, new technologies, looking for new directions to achieve overtaking the other way in the field of traditional chips. The United States strict defense from cutting off the supply of equipment to restrict the use of design software. Either domestic chips want to achieve a short time to catch up. The difficulties are not small at present. China's most advanced photolithography manufacturer, Shanghai Microelectronics, has only achieved mass production of 90 nanometers photolithography, while TSMC, Samsung, and other companies have mass production of 3 nanometers chips. China is still stuck in the 28 nanometers mature process stage. First, Huawei will focus on the chip stacking technology. Stacking technology apology through the area for performance without changing the chip process. The chip's performance doubled, allowing Huawei to quickly have a high-performance chip. At present, Huawei has published a number of chip patents related to stacking technology, mainly to solve the stacking method, power consumption, and other issues. According to Huawei's announcement, Huawei may launch its own stacking technology chip as soon as next year, and the chip may be the first to be used in PCs and other devices. Second, Huawei is also fully developing optoelectronic chip. The chip is different from the silicon chip. The production process is more simple, does not require high-end UV lithography, can completely bypass the US technology. The photoelectric chip is different from the traditional silicon chip with faster transmission speed and transmission capacity, and other advantages compared to the traditional silicon chip. Photoelectric chip is more suitable for 5G Internet of Things and other industries. Huawei has been in the field of optoelectronic chips for more than 10 years and is now in a leading position in addition to independent research and development. Huawei has also made a large number of acquisitions, has acquired the British integrated optoelectronic devices company, Belgium's optical module research and development company Calliope, etc., which also plans to invest £1 billion in the UK to build a global R&D centre. Mainly is to carry out research and development of optoelectronic chips and other design in China. Huawei Wuhan R&D Center has more than 10,000 people for optoelectronic chip and other technology research and development. Optoelectronic chip has become the future trend. The Netherlands, Germany, and other related topics have been launched and even invested more than €1.1 billion. At present, Huawei Hesai has become the only Chinese company with the ability to develop optical DSP chips. The key is to be able to self-research and self-production, not affected by the U.S technology. Moreover, Huawei is also self-researching more new materials and other technologies, but also for the optical chip to do pavement. The first half of this year, Huawei's revenue of $301.6 billion compared with last year has not been a big decline, meaning that the impact of the U.S side to modify the chip rules is also increasingly small. Huawei was able to turn around in one fell swoop under the U.S high-intensity sanctions, I think, and its perennial adherence to the direction of independent innovation has a lot to do with Huawei mastered the core of technology to be able to quickly complete the adjustment first of all after the U.S sanctions. Huawei quickly launched a backup plan so that Harmony OS and HMS to complete the seamless replacement of software and service level so that the U.S attempts to destroy Huawei's ambitions cannot be realized. After the official push of Harmony OS 2 in June last year, Huawei's cell phones, tablets, and other devices have gradually completed the replacement with the support of the Harmony system. Even the old models released 5 years ago, after upgrading the Hong main system, can become smooth. Now, Huawei has pushed the Hong main OS 3 system, and the new version not only further optimizes the fluency so that it is always new, but also improves the ability of cross-platform applications so as to achieve multi-platform support for one development. In just over a year's time, the user scale of Harmony OS has exceeded 300 million units, and in the future, as the Harmony ecology is accelerated, more and more devices will join the Harmony ecology, and Huawei will also rely on the Harmony ecology to achieve steady growth. Secondly, Huawei cell phones are also officially back. Last year, Huawei released only a handful of new machines. The reason is no chip available. But this year, Huawei released a significant increase in new machines. In the first half of this year, Huawei released a high-end folding screen phone like the Mate XS2, also launched a €1,000 entry machine like the Enjoy 50 series, and then in the second half of the year released the Nova 10 series, Mate 50 series and other products. Many new machines have been unveiled one after another, meaning that Huawei's supply chain problems have been initially solved, especially the latest release of the Mate 50 series flagship. More convinced that Huawei cell phones have returned in full force. Huawei Mate 50 series is the first Mate series of products launched after the U.S side completely cut off Huawei's chip. Although there is no advantage in terms of chip and 5G, Huawei offers advantages that the whole industry does not have. Good-looking design, super light change, smage image, satellite communication capability, and super 10 times stronger cool moon glass, etc. Many Huawei provides the ability to add, so that this phone successfully returned to the mainstream high-end markets. So after the release of Huawei Mate 50 series, the number of consumers who bought this phone was very large. It is reported that Huawei's first batch of 4 million units the first day of sale supply exceeded demand and soon sold out. Yu Qingdong also said to increase the order to raise production with full force. Huawei's new business in the orderly growth. The U.S sanctions Huawei led to a decline in revenue of nearly 30%, although annual revenue is still more than 600 billion yuan. But survival has become the main direction of Huawei in the next few years, since the cell phone and other business has been affected. Then open up new markets. So new energy vehicles have become the main direction of Huawei's future from the end of last year, and sales teamed up to launch the M5 model. Huawei's new energy vehicles are unstoppable. According to Yu Qingdong's disclosure, the total delivery volume of the new energy vehicle series in August this year exceeded 10,000 units, setting the fastest record for Chinese new energy vehicle brands to break 10,000 deliveries in a single month, which shows that new energy vehicles will become a strong growth business for Huawei. For the future goals of Huawei's new energy vehicle business, Yu Qingdong also unabashedly said his thoughts, and some time ago Huawei released the Ask World M5 EV model. Yu Qingdong directly took out the Tesla Model Y and its comparison. The company's main goal is to provide the best possible service to its customers. Huawei cell phones to challenge Apple. Huawei new energy vehicles to challenge Tesla, equivalent to the two most advanced consumer goods companies directly to the United States, declared war. The goal is clear, the general direction is correct. So Huawei really want to turn over